First of all, thank you very much for everybody. Have a pleasant day for you today. My name is Alan. I'm a senior solution architect in CD Networks, and I've been in CD Networks for a couple of years already, covering and Southeast Asia countries. And today our topic will be more on, give me a while, more on the how to best leverage on the CD network, CDN for your video delivery, right? Um, okay. So first of all, these are the topics or discuss you about for today about CDN and media delivery, the industry strength, CD networks overview, and our network resources, media solution overview, and our customer success stories. Right. All right. For the industry strength, what we have here is we have collected the data for how is the media market will be happening for the next couple of years. So in 2019, we have estimated that around 42,000 billion dollars is for the overall media market in the internet itself, right? So what we are expecting here is from 2019 until 2017, there will be around 20% growth or increase of the utilization and the traffic in terms of the media or video consumption over the internet. So specifically in Asia itself, we're in a lot of consumers or viewers and devices are um, starting to or already using their mobile devices to view all over the content and the videos that we have in the internet itself. Right. So what we can expect is that there will be more and more traffic and demand in terms of the videos and the content to be reached out for users for the couple of years that is coming on. Right. So when we know that kind of requirements or we know that kind of demand that we'll be having on the following years, what we intend to do is we try to address those industry challenge that will be facing, but by those organizations who wants to really work on this video and media type of industry. So they usually try to um, see what are those information or those things that they need to consider, like what mentioned here are the traffic surges, increasing costs, diversified terminals, and copyright protection, and customer expectation. We're gonna drill down a little bit on those type of challenges that we're going on the next slide. Right. So traffic surges is that the technology that is using for the traffic is well, how we say that is if there are too much demand on your content and there are too many users and viewers that are looking for your or watching on your content, then the normal situation will happen and you need to scale up and you need to reach your capacity in order to handle the traffic for your media or for your services, right? So with that, it comes with a challenge that is difficult for you as, let's say, for an organization to really leverage and use your local resources in order to scale up. So the tendency is you really need to have to quickly scale if you need it, and you also need to scale down if you don't, where the CDN infrastructure or platform or services comes in, because if you have the flexibility of those resources that you needed. A part of this is increasing costs as well. So if you have more resources, you need more manpower, you need more equipment, and you need more internet connection and bandwidth, are all those type of costs that really involves and increases for with your platform itself, right? There's also a requirement for diversified terminals, right? So when you talk about these terminals, you notice that nowadays people doesn't just watch on their computers, on their browsers. They also watch in their mobile devices, and then they also watch in their TVs. They also watch on their gaming consoles. So all those type of terminals, you need to consider whether how are you going to address or how are you going to manage them in a way that you can reach as much people as possible, right? So with your own infrastructure, then you need to be able to have maybe a device or equipment that is specific for this type of terminals, and then you need to do another one. But if you use a CDN, then it helps you then to have a much more bigger coverage and flexibility on coverage of all different terminals that are available now in the market, right? Another major concern that's happening is copyright protection. Yes, you have your content. It's a very good content, but the problem is you don't know, or you have some problems on how you protect them and how you'll be able to secure them in order that no other people or no other users seeing this content without the subscription or without the permission for them to view it. So this is part and parcel when you have a very good content that people will try to um, restream it to other places with a proper permission from you. So it also helps that you need to have a copyright protection for your content. Customer expectation. So when you go for the customer expectation, you really want to have in terms of, let's say you have your content is in a live or real time content, right? Let's say sports or news, right? So you want to be able to reach out to these users with the real time as possible of their content. So when you build up your services or your content or your platform, you want to make sure that I'm using the proper or the platform in order to deliver to them as real time as possible. So because the real time, the content itself is the better for for the viewers to sticking on it and watching the content itself, right? I have here the CD Networks overview, um, company overview. So we'll just quickly browse through with the CD Networks So CD Networks is a global content network company that is fully integrated in a cloud solution, right? So we are founded in 2000 in Korea, and in 2017 we were acquired by CD Networks Guangzhou, China in 2017. So overall, we have 11 global services, global offices, and 300 employees worldwide. Right. So our vision is one to develop our product to a much more advanced, it's much more in line with the industry and the requirement of our end customers and organization all over the world, right? So here we are located on different countries. We have in Singapore and other countries like Japan, Korea, China. We also have in Russia, UK, Canada, and US. What will I say is that we have this coverage in different countries. And, okay, please hang on. It seems like my line is not so stable. Okay. Um, okay, I'll just continue with my presentation. So yeah, so we have 11 countries, 11 global offices all over the world. Yeah. So these are just our customer reference. We have Samsung, we also have Microsoft and other countries. Some way, one way or another, are using our CDN services, products, and it could be on media, it could be also in just the website, and maybe also in the security as well, and some of our enterprise services that is included in our portfolio. This is more on the media companies in China that are using us. The reason being is that we were acquired by Guangzhou or China in 2017. So now they are our parent or mother company, and then with the customer base more on the Chinese market that we have. So we have strong presence and strong market reach in China as well. Right. So these are just the high level of our solution in our portfolio. So first of all, we have the media delivery. So from the name itself, media means videos, live stream, or video on demand. So we use our CDN to deliver content for all those video contents on the internet, right? We also have the web performance wherein we are working on the website, either it's a static website or a dynamic website, which means you have some transaction or maybe e-commerce, shopping type of transaction, and right. So we use our web performance CDN as well in order to deliver and make up a better experience for those websites, right? We also have cloud security, right? So cloud security includes DDoS protection, web application firewall, and bot mitigation, things that are helpful for protecting your online presence in terms of your website and any platform that you have in the website, right? Edge computing, this is pretty new product for us and very exciting, but it's also a little bit in terms of how the implementation or how the people will do this. All the computing, all the processing happen on the edge, right? So if you're familiar with Dockers, containers, yeah. So the edge computing platform deals with those type of deployments of cloud computing, right? So we also have enterprise application wherein it boosts the connectivity between your enterprises, maybe your manufacturing, maybe your production site, and you want to reach out from other offices regionally over the world. So platform to have that interconnectivity performance improve, right? We also have co-location services. So if you need some space in the data center, you'll be able to contact us and help you with your needs in terms of the co-location. China and emerging country is a pretty unique service section for our side, because not everybody can penetrate China, right? Because now that you need to establish your offices, you need to establish your presence in China in order to reach out the market. So we have our solution and our services that can cater for those type of scenarios that is difficult or have challenges for people to reach in on the China market, including the emerging countries as well, right? Yeah, so for CDN, for every CDN provider, the important and the bread and butter of the CDN is always the network resources. So as you can see from this map, right, that we have almost every continent and almost every places, cities that are high in concentration of users. And we deem identified that's very good for us to establish our point of presence, our servers, our data centers, our CDN pods, right? So we have placed them in a way strategically that we'll be able to cover as much as we can on those places that we have more users connectivity, right? So in terms of the capacity, if you need more capacity, we have enough, I think, for everyone, and we're continuously reviewing all the resources in terms of forecasting whether they will need to increase additional resources from them ahead of the time, right? So we partner with different ISPs, with different cities and with different countries as well, in order to make sure that not every users are connected on a single ISP per country, right? So we need to establish our presence and our connectivity on those places. A very good case for us to really establish that we have better performance and better connectivity in any location that is possible for all our consumers or viewers for our CDN platform, right? Yeah, so now we'll be focusing on the media solution for all of that, right? Um, so, so this is a typical deployment scenario our CDN in terms of the media. As you can see from the left side, right? This is the origin wherein you have capture and encode the contents of your of your media, of your stream, right? Of your video. So this is where it originates, the source of your content, right? So the middle one is where CDN is working, right? As you can see, last time this was just basic, like the CDN will just pull the content, right? And we'll just use the edge pub and deliver it to the users. But now, what we try to incorporate in our solution is like we put together source of functionalities and available things that you can be able to manage already from the CDN itself. So which means you don't need to really bother much on whether what are the things you need to do after you capture and encode your videos, right, or your content. So CDN will be taking over for the rest of the processing, whether you want it to be automated or you want it to be like on a workflow type, right? So that is where all the much of the happening in the middle of the CDN connectivity between the users and your source, right? On the right side is the source, is the viewers or the terminal who's viewing the content. So as you can see here, there are a couple types of ways to do the pushing of or ingesting or taking the content. It's either you just upload a video or you push a video or the stream to us, right, in different formats, and then we will absorb it. So we try to understand what protocol and what type of scenarios that will be applicable for you in terms of your environment. And at the same time, we'll try to also include and understand what are the reach of the users or the terminals that you're trying to talk to or deliver your content with. So for in case you like most of your users are mobile phones and the others are using TV, right? So there's some protocols and some deployment scenarios that will be helpful for you for you to. Okay, give me a while. I think my audio is still having some problem from time to time. Okay, I hope this one is much more better now for the audio. Okay, so let's continue. Later on, I'll be having some demo and show you a little bit on what are those protocols and scenarios that are available in the industry or on the market itself. Right. So ready with the type of content like HLS, HDL, RTMP, Dash, WebRTC. Those are the well-known type of protocols that are being used to consume the videos content. Right. Okay. So here, we try to understand where are the type of protocols that are much more prominent and being widely used. The reason being is like I think HLS is because a lot of devices are really dependent whether they can be able to play those video and content. And HLS is very famous with compatibility with HTML5. Right? So everybody can utilize HTML5, and then HLS will be the one that they're going to choose as um, part of their command or protocol that they are using. Right. So HLS and RTMP is still good. MPEG dash is still good. All right. So this one, another interesting table that I want to share with you all. So these types of media streaming protocols that available on the market. So you can see there's on the left side are all the parameters that being used as a category in what's the best protocol for you to use. And on the top are the type of the streaming protocol. So there's still reason that's why all these protocols are still available in the market. And it's either they're still very robust or very widely accepted by a lot of industry producers or contributors, right? Like for example, RTMP is a very old protocol. However, people still use it because it's very good in pushing or doing the real-time type of streaming. Although the drawback for RTMP is a lot of browser now Flash player and they stop using it, and then you need to develop your own player for that. And HLS is still a very good one because it can be cached, it can be play on different devices and different players that is available on the market. However, there's the drawback as well. We're in 30 seconds, 6 for the delay. Type of viewers that you are having doesn't have any requirement to be real time, then HLS is a very good protocol to use. So I would say for our CDN, most of this protocol we are supporting now, and we'll be able to help everyone if they have any requirements for this protocol itself. Right. Yeah, so for the low latency, we have here a different, I would say, very young or very newly introduced type of protocols. So all of these protocols like QIC, HTTP3, and low latency HLS, even though it was just formally released recently only, our platform will be able to support this type. The web RTC is really very famous nowadays. If you really want to have a very real-time type of content that is being delivered, you can go at least for less than 1 second for the web RTC. And the secure, reliable transport as well. Right. In terms of our solution, we establish our connectivity in order for you to reach China markets or China viewers, you might say so, for viewing your content. So for China Premium Service, what we did is we have a direct connection from inside China and going to global, which is located on the nearby countries. Let's say, for example, Hong Kong, Japan. We have a direct connection going to China. So what does it gives to us is sometimes without this type of connectivity, your videos, your website doesn't even really load in China. But with this type of service, you have a higher chance and we have a better connectivity that it will load, it will play perfectly as you expected, like they're watching it outside China. So it's a very good solution and very widely looked after, because the requirements always come out that in terms for the China users, they won't be able to reach out because it's not loading properly, right? So this is the China Premium Service that we have. Right. So all of this, if you can understand, imagine if just like you're doing all your infrastructure building, right? And you wanted to reach out starting from maybe from a certain country and you want to expand, right? You won't be able to really do it, right? And it will need some time for you to develop and even deploy them and bring it to production. What really in terms that gives here is the CDN will have all the infrastructure, all the things that you need in order to focus on your content rather than on how you're going to scale up or scale down or reach other places. And even those type of processing and configuration that is involved for your media. So for our CDN, we also have the media transcoding that we can do, right? So if either you live or you do the VOD, so for live, so that means you want to adjust the resolution of your content from one single source to multiple resolution and bit rates that you are wanted to. So the reason here is, of course, not every users have very big screen that they can watch your content, right? So if they have smaller screen, then it's better for them, a smaller resolution and a better bit rates for them just to view. Another consideration is their network connectivity. Some cities and countries still lag in terms of connectivity. So sometimes if they don't have a good connectivity, then you just give a lower resolution type of videos that you have. Right, so another interesting thing that we have is live recording. So you have, let's say, a very real time or a news or a live session that's happening unto you, and you wanted to have it played afterwards. So able to catch it on, you just want to watch it after, let's say, the news. So because they're still working, they're not able to watch it. So when you do the live recording, then later on you'll be available and you can do playing it again and watching again for the people who wants to have the playback or replay of your content. Right? So this live recording is already integrated in our platform. Automatically recorded and stored in our storage, cloud storage, and it will be able to be consumed via our platform itself, also in our CDN media platform. So for we also have this real-time screenshot. So from here, you want to do some catalog or you want to do some auditing. If you have a end user type of content, and you wanted to review and see whether any offending contents or sensitive contents that they're doing is really helpful. At the same time, if you have some, let's say you have movies or you have live contents and you have you want to have a proper showcase and tell people that this is a good movie to watch or video to watch, then you have this catalog or packaging that you can use from our system. So you don't need to bother from your origin site or from your source site to really capture all this information first. Right, so as I mentioned, when you do the live recording, immediately after the processing or the recording of your live, you can immediately watch it using our VOD stream. So the URLs are already integrated in our platform. It's more on like you just need to pull or get the URL for you to view and distribute, and maybe even embed on your website, on your players as part of available contents for selection. Later, I'm going to show you in the demo how is this being done and how you can see how are they integrated together. So we also have this very good functionality wherein even though you're using a very low bandwidth, you still have a very good resolution. How we do that is we optimize the packets and the frame that is involved on the transferring using our CDN platform, right? Our media platform. For that, I will be able to make sure that it will be distributed in the lower bit rates, but with the higher definition, a higher resolution of your content. So what it gains and it gives you is you have much better compression, much better experience for your viewers, even though their connectivity or the bit rate is not really that high. So it saves you, let's say if you're really particular with the bandwidth, especially for just using data, right? Not using internet connection from the ISP directly, right? So from the fiber, then it really helps to continue watching and engaging on your content. Another very good scenarios for our product is the prompt stream forbidding. So what does it do is like you are able to control the content or the channels, whether you want him to be forbidden, right? So you want to stop because it could be reported, it could be being streamed online, you have the power to control, and you have the power to make sure that you won't further do any complication in terms of the content sensitivity of your streams, right? And we also have a very simple and nitty-gritty type of protection of your content. So most of the time when people try to watch your content, what they do, they share links, or they're gonna find the links from the page. Maybe they're gonna debug somewhere and get the links of the URL. And then what they're gonna do, gonna share it to other people, right? With this anti-hot linking, you are be able to make sure that we can control the access in terms of the URL. So we try to leverage on different parameters. Let's say IP address, cookies, browser or user agent. We try to use a combination, depends, right, on the requirement. And by that, you are ensured that even the link is shared by other people to other person, you will not vote for that, right? There's also like a time base wherein after a day or maybe just few hours, you want to have this URL expired and nobody can use it anymore, then we can also configure it in our CDN. So part of this is like, it takes out the burden from you with all this concern that you are worried in terms of like, let's say I don't know how to protect my content from being pirated by other people, right? Right, so we have these customer success stories as well. One of happy. So for them, their problem is most of the time is they are having live seller, right? So they want to showcase their products and they want to reach out as many buyers as possible who wanted to see their products, right? So Shopee uses our CDN in order to do the live streaming and to have the live interaction engagement with our with their users. Helps them to leverage and to reach out more people in a much more engaged way and real-time way for them to do, right? We also have Ike. So Ike is another growing outside the China provider, content provider, right? It's like Netflix as well. So they want to reach out different countries and they want to have a better delivery of their content and better protection of their content, right? So sometimes they have very high number of viewers all at the same time. So they need to scale up. They need to scale and increase their capacity on different countries and cities that have more demand of their content. Copied or restreamed from other places by the viewers of their content, right? So from our CDN side, we try to manage all these type of concerns from their side, and then takes out the burden, and then they can just focus on what are the contents, what are the medias that they're going to distribute on their certain countries and places. And we also have a gaming company that is having some too many files for them to distribute and watch and get by their users, right? So from then, our CDN can leverage on our big those later be consumed and watched by those viewers, gamers that want to learn, or maybe some tutorial that they are having on the games itself, right? So we use our API for them to integrate and able to collect all those data and information that they use to distribute this content from their site. Okay. Yeah, so I'm moving now to my demo. So I just quickly switch my screen to. So here I have the CDNetworks portal, and this is the products that we have. So what I'm going to show you today is the media part, which is the Cloud Live and the Cloud VOD. So I'm going to start with the Cloud Live itself for the live streaming, right? So from here, what I have is I created a domain that I can use for the CDN setting. So I immediately have the domain here set up. So you can notice I have two domains. One is for the push, the other one is for the pull. So push is more on the ingesting, and the pull is more on for the viewing. So I set up it previously earlier in order to have continuous demo session with you all for this. So after that, once I have configured this, I have my CNAME set up on my DNS server and configure it so that it will have choose the domain or the IP address automatically. Right. So now I'm gonna create a channel. So channel is like you have one stream content that you want to show or to go live. So you just need to create a channel here. Let's say CDNetworks webinar. Right. So you just need to choose maybe whatever option, and then it's very straightforward. There are some other small configuration here that you can look up to later on. But for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to have straight away create the channel for you to show. So you can see here that it is still inactive, but it's already created, and we don't have any other additional information that is needed. So I wanted to start the encoder or the channel, so I need to have the URL of the RTMP or the ingest URL of the stream. So I'll just need to copy it, and what I have here is an OBS. I'm gonna share you my OBS. So here in my OBS, right? So I have a media or a video that is already playing. So what I just need to do is copy the URL I got from there and paste it here on the OBS. So now this is just manual that you can see here. In the real life, you'll be able to have it like you can call an API so that it's already seamless or integrated with your application or platform itself, right? So I'm gonna start streaming my content. So you see at the lower side, I can see that it's green and it started streaming already, right? This is what I have on my OBS. So this is what we call the encoder, or the one that captures or put your media into a digital format, right? So back to the portal, if I refresh this, you will see the channel that you can see is already broadcasting. Now you know, okay, it's live. I can see already, and then I want to show you some of the buttons here. You have it, the monitor. Here we can see what the stream look like. Maybe I click it first, all right? And then there's the share button as well, wherein you can view the content, all right? So just put it here as well. I also mentioned the ban, right? So if you want to ban your content, it can be clicked immediately by searching the channel. If somebody reported for you that this content is sensitive, then you can immediately just search the channel and you can ban it immediately, right? Playback code. So anything that we can see or view are all the links or the reference for the video itself. So what you can see, we have the SWF code. This is the flash type of URL, which means if you have a flash player, you just embed this and you'll be able to play it already. We also have this adaptive type of code, another URL that you can use to embed on your website. So depending what is your requirement, you can choose which type of codes you want to use. And then you have this, you have the RTMP original, and then you have this low, high bandwidth type, and we also have the HLS, right? You can see playlist.entry-UA, right? So there's different format that we can configure when your channel, when you start streaming them, right? So now I'm gonna go with the monitor. So here, what we're expecting is we will be able to see, let me refresh. Okay, so here is
security solution can defend you against all these threats.
So
threats detected and
here's my OBS.
protected and connected.
Right. So this video you'll be able to play simultaneously as live as I do pushing on my OBS. Right.
You have great online service, happy customers, business is booming.
So from here with the URL, you'll be able to see already.
Some of your visitors are
so same here we go. Let me just mute it first.
Detected and deflected. You are protected and connected.
So yeah, so you can see you have the monitoring here at the bottom. You have the graph. You'll see how much is your bitrate. If there's any frame that is being dropped, maybe some lagging between the video and the audio, the latency as well. So it's a real-time type of monitoring. The one that I mentioned to you earlier, the recording type. So you want to do the recording. Here's how you'll be able to just quickly just record your content. As mentioned here, they will be available simultaneously after they finish the processing of your content. So, right. So after this, you have the recording already. So you just wait for it to process, and then you'll see later on it will play for you and view. So I will show you where is it located to the other product that we have, which is the partner, which is the Cloud VOD. Yeah, so that's pretty much very straightforward in the Cloud Live. So you just need to create a channel and then get the codes, and you pretty much start and be able to do already all your configuration from your website and embed all those videos that you need, right? So that's for the live Cloud Live media streaming that we have. Okay, so I'm going to the other side, which is the Cloud VOD, right? A moment to. Okay, so as you can see, I did the recording on the Cloud Live, and you can see here that there is this CDN webinar. It was generated just a few minutes ago, right? Let's see whether we can play it now. So as you can see, the recording is already available when you stop the recording from the live. Depending how long you want to do the recording, of course, right? But the important thing here is you have the codes. Another one, because you can see that earlier there's a different URL of the live. What we are providing now is a Cloud VOD URL that you can just pull, and then when they want to watch and replay them, this is the URL they're going to use, right? So pretty convenient in terms of just need to pull the URL and embed it on your website, and immediately people will be able to watch it for you. So for Cloud VOD, there's some additional functionalities because they are stored videos. So which means you can do some processing, you can do some manipulation of your video. Like what I did, I have a couple of samples here in Cloud VOD. So a lot of this is you have a template from all these workflows, transcoding, watermark that you can do from Cloud VOD. So the first one I created earlier is in this. I would like to highlight you have different resolution types. So when you save a video, you can configure how many resolution that you can conduct and create for your video, right? So it's very good for you. And all these URLs, all these links that you can see from this player is also available on these codes. It's just a matter of processing or massaging this output, and you'll be able to play them already using our platform. So all integrated with CDN capability already with the processing of your content according to what you want to do. You can also combine different videos. For example, this one is another type of multi bitrate, right? But this time is adaptive. So that means depending on your user network, how good they are, then it will show that your adaptive bitrate or how good is the resolution that they can use. Right, so it boils down with what type of processing and what type of users you want to reach in and engage with your content itself. Okay, so I have this, another one is, another good feature is the watermark. You can see here, I added a logo CD Networks here. So if you want to have your content after you finish recording, right? You want to make sure you're the one who's distributing and be able to trace back that you're the one or the source of that video. You can put a watermark there straight away, right? After you can do the recording, and then you'll be able to assure that people that this content, if they try to restream it to other places without permission, then you'll be able to get reported and tell you that, hey, your content is somehow used by other people. So multiple things and a lot of, I would say, settings that you can use and do for this. So you can see that we have different category, and you can export and you can do uploading as well from your own, right? So a matter of integration and part of our CDN platform. All right, so I want to highlight as well, if you have any problems or we have any issues, the portal itself contains a lot of links that is pointing, let's say, API docs, right? If you want to go for the document center, guides, console is also included in our portal. So we will help you along the way and work with you on how best you can utilize our CDN services and our products. So from our homepage as well, we have some contact and email address that you can use to message us and reach to us if there's any problem, any issues that you are facing. Right. Okay. That's so far my demo for you for the Cloud Live and Cloud BOD. I guess if there's any questions or anything that you want to work with us and tell us, I can answer some couple of questions that is mentioned here. So there's one here saying, how do I connect the CCTV camera to your service? You need to have a software that can encode your CCTV and push to our platform, right? Another way, if your CCTV is just sending or doing the streaming, if you have the URL of your CCTV stream, let's say per camera, we can also do the pooling. That means with the URL or IP address, we can pull the CCTV camera from our CDN platform and then deploy it or stream it outside for people to view it. Yeah. Let me see if there's still other. Okay, there's still some question here in give an example of video processing application in real case. Right. So the real example, I think what I mentioned is if you have a very good bit rate or resolution of your content, and then you want to convert it to a smaller resolution that is fit for mobile devices, right? That is fit for the places that have restriction in the network connectivity, then that's the real good application of your video processing, right? So you want to convert it. There's another question mentioned here. Feature of video processing is transcoding. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we can also convert all multiple bit rate and resolutions that's available live, right? So we can do live transcoding, not just after recording them. I think for the DVR and for the CCTV camera, we need to look what are the integration types that we can work on together. so long that we can ingest and then pull the content towards our platform, the rest of the processing would not be an issue anymore, because we have able to connect and have the integration together already. Yeah, so we can discuss and see whether what are the options that we can use for that. For the low or no code platform, um, currently what we have is more on the URL or managing all the contents of 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 the media of the content. So I would say if you're looking for the OBP, something like that, that you have a platform itself that you just use the catalog and everything is put together. We can talk on that and then see whether if there's any other ways that we can work together for that requirement itself. Okay, I still have a couple of. So let's see whether any. Okay, for the CDN storing for the videos, it can be stay there for as long as you want, or you can want to have some time feature, which means you want to clear those videos that are longer than 1 week or maybe 1 year, right? So we can set and configure from our platform how long you need to store those videos and content, right? Okay. Oh, of course, yes. You can download it or you can just reference for it. It's possible because it's just accessible online. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so okay, let me just, if no more question, I just would like to thank everyone for your time. Basically, what we're trying to reach out here and let people know that there is a way for everybody to utilize CDN resources in terms of the video delivery, and with that, it helps to really leverage then all the challenges that you're facing if you're trying to establish your media presence or platform for everyone. So with the flexibility of the CDN, with the scalability and the rich features that is available for processing, I said it will be a very good compatibility and working to all those media, online media or video platform that you're looking for in the future. Right. Thank you very much for your time. I hope to see you for the next webinar. And if you have any question, you can see the email address there. You can reach for us and you can go to our website and we can talk after that. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice day.